Okay. Alright, so this, I don't think actually anyone's here yet. This is probably going to end up being more of a YouTube recording rather than a Twitch stream, since I had well, this is the only slot I could stream this week, and I haven't streamed for a couple of weeks. And this slot is obviously up against the Mythic Championship, which is also modern. So not overly hopeful of having too many viewers, but nonetheless, I suppose this will be good to have on YouTube. But the big news really is that this Sunday I'll be doing a donation legacy challenge, courtesy of Eric Landon, to play the Bog Boyz in the legacy challenge, all 7 rounds. See if we can dream crush. So it should be good fun. So this is just going to be good practice. Okay. So I'll go through the deck mainly for the benefit of YouTube. So previously we played Bog Boyz, and it would have been this older version. Yeah, so this is what we played last time. So it's pretty bad. We managed to get an 0-5-0-10, so no wins at all, which was a bit disappointing. We did have some pretty bad matchups though, and by bad matchups I mean functioning legacy decks. So we had a bunch of hand disruptions, so like Hymns, Thoughtseize to go. The idea being that we do this alongside making them discard with Cavern of Souls. This plan didn't work very well. Earwig Squad is like one of the best cards in the deck, and we only ran 2 of them, which was a bit of an oversight. And we just didn't close out games in any reasonable pace. Not Mad Auntie, but Harbinger also was awful. So getting rid of that then, we've kind of switched things around a little bit. So we did play around with like having some chalices or something in the main deck, which was okay, but still wasn't amazing. And so now we're just trying to go all in on prow triggers essentially. And instead of Cabal Slaver, which to be honest wasn't too bad, we're trying out Oona's Blackguard. So this works with all rogues that have counters on them, and does the same thing as Slaver. So when you deal combat damage, your opponent still discards cards. So it's a little bit harder to set up because you need to have this in play and then a creature to enter to get the counter on it. Whereas Cabal Slaver, you just have to have it in play and have a goblin deal combat damage. It's a little bit hard to set this up, but this is also just a better card in that it pumps your creatures as well as having the discard trigger. And the fact that this also flies and is a rogue means that we can trigger Prowl for Earwig Squad, which we have 4 of, as well as Auntie, Snitch, and I think that's the only other Prowl trigger. But in any case, that's pretty good. We also have 4 Faerie Macabre main deck. This, I have thought about this a few times. This is kind of, I don't know, this deck's less in the spirit of the original Bog Boyz because we've got a load of fairies in here as well. But in the spirit of trying to cheese people with mediocre decks, this having 4 of these main deck could also do the trick. So we'll see how that works. And then we still have the 2 Jittes in the main deck because this card kind of enables us to win some games. We've got 4 Frogtosser because this card also isn't great, but it's better than Harbinger, and it does mean that we can get some pretty explosive draws. And the fact it has haste and is a rogue is good because it means if we have a Blackguard in play, we can actually have a hasty discard trigger, which is often pretty good. Prickly Boggart is like weirdly enough one of the main engines in the deck. The fact it's got Fear means we can often get the Prowl trigger or the Blackguard trigger. And actually, so whilst this is a 1-drop and the Blackguard is a 2-drop, often what you can end up doing is playing a turn 1 Vial, turn 2 cast the Blackguard, and then Vial in the Boggart with the Blackguard in play. So you can still set up a pretty reasonable turn sequence where this is the second card you cast after the Blackguard and maintain tempo. So that's pretty good. Then we've got some main deck removal, so we've got a Dismember in the main deck, a couple of Fatal Pushes, and then we've got some more fair stuff in the side. So we've got another Dismember, some Ministers of Pain to get rid of other creature matchups, and True Names. We've got some War Weirdings to get rid of True Names and Dark Depths, well, Merit Age. Some Sorcerous Spyglasses to interact with fair stuff, mainly equipment. In terms of combo, so we've got the squad, we've got Blackguard, and then in the sideboard we've also got 3 Trinispheres and a Nether Void. And this plan's actually worked quite well when I've tested it out. It's pretty reasonable to lock. I mean, Nether Void can just lock people out of the game if they don't have. I mean, they have to pay 3 mana on top of whatever the casting cost of the spell is. So you need 4 mana to cast a 1-drop, for instance. And if you're wastelanding your opponent, then this can this can be pretty good. It's also symmetrical, so we have to be wary of that. But we've got an Aether Vial in play, then that makes it less symmetrical. And Trinisphere is also pretty good. So against combo, we've got some Haymakers in the sideboard. We've also got some Damping Spheres for combo and for Eldrazi Post. Has been a fair bit of that around recently. So the mana base has changed slightly. We've got 2 Ancient Tombs to help ramp out the sideboard cards and potentially get a turn 2 squad. We've only got 1 Urborg this time because we don't really want to draw multiples, and we're not trying to cast black spells, so we're not casting him anymore, which is good. We've got 4 Wastelands still. This is kind of essential for this kind of deck. Since we're mono-coloured, we pretty much need to run these just to have a chance to interact with land-based strategies, so for instance Dark Depths. And then we've got a couple of Mutavaults, because these again work really well with the Prowl triggers. Unfortunately, Mutavault isn't as good as in this list as the Goblin list, because it doesn't work with Oona's Blackguard, but it still works with Squad and Auntie Snitch, so I think that's fine. So we'll give this a go. I think this is probably the more competitive of the sort of Bog Squad strategies. There's a whole family of these Bog decks, so yeah, we'll give this a go. The other option is to try this list. I think this is the list. No, this isn't the updated list. This was like another version of the list that I tried with Chalice in. It's okay, but Chalice is a bit weird. I think Liliana is often hard to cast and is kind of cheating in a way. Red Cap can be good. Like, I think the Slaver list is like the core philosophy of the deck, but it's harder. It's not as competitive potentially. And if we're trying to win some games at the challenge, this is probably a better place to be. But we will see how that goes. So I think this is probably what we'll try. I think this is, yeah, we'll see, I guess. We will see how this goes. So what's the other cards that I haven't covered? So Marsh Flitter is the only other one. So this is again is a fairy. It does kind of fit the theme. It's still a rogue. It makes 2 1/1 goblins, and it does mean if we curve a Blackguard into a Marsh Flitter, that's a pretty decent curve. So it can be okay. But I think this is still keeping close enough to the original philosophy, but also possibly a little bit better, that it might be good for the challenge. So we'll see how this goes. But the Nether Void and the Trinisphere have been good. So let's crack on with the league and see if we can attract some people to watch the stream instead of the Mythic Championship. I'm hoping I didn't just do all of that on mute. I don't think so. Let me just check. No, I don't think I was on mute. Okay, sweet. First victim. Let's see how this goes. I don't know if I'm dropping frames at all today. Don't know if the connection's as good, so it's possible that the clips won't be as crisp. Did we manage to catch them, or did they run away scared? Sweet. Okay, well, being on the play is good. I might have to adjust this again. It's annoying that that's moved itself out of position. Still a London Mulligan. So this is obviously Mulligan because we've only got a Wasteland. This is fine, and we'll probably get rid of the Ancient Tomb. So probably lead on a turn 1 Wasteland. Then we can go Urborg, Blackguard. Then we can go Macabre. Actually, no, we'll probably go Blackguard, Macabre. The cool thing about these is they still stack if you've got one creature with a trigger, with one creature with a counter. you'll still get triggers off both of these if it connects, so that's pretty good. But I think this is keepable. Ugh. Problem is, if we get ranched like we did last league with Bog Boyz, that'll probably be quite quick anyway. So we might not get any viewers since we're up against a Mythic Championship, but we'll see. Not everybody wants to watch the highest level Magic content, so we'll keep this. Our opponent has Malta 6. I hate that this is greyed out when you're trying to choose what to put back, so we'll put this back. That's fine. Okay, sweet. Having the Macabre is also kind of nice in the opener, just in case they are doing something nuts. So say if they are Reanimator, then we might be okay. Although this isn't anywhere near as good as like a Surgical or a Leyline, for instance. Okay, Ponder. So fair decks could be okay. This could be a pretty good opener against the fair strategy. If it's a show and tell deck, we're probably just dead at this point. So we have to hope it's not show and tell. Nice, putting the card on the bottom. That's always good. So I'm glad that the Magic Online bug carried over to the London Mulligan. That's always good. So they're auto passing. That's fine. We will also auto pass. Ah, there's only 2 Ancient Teams in the deck, so we bottomed one, and the second one's on the top. Weird, Modo. Weird. Love when that happens. Okay, so definitely a fair strategy. We're going to get dogged by Terminus, but there's not a lot we can do about that. So let's just cast the Blackguard. The cool thing about this is that if this enters before this gets killed, and this has a trigger on it, whenever this deals combat damage, this will also get, it would trigger off of itself, I believe. Yeah, I think so. So this should get 2 triggers if it connects, which is going to be pretty good. This is actually a pretty good... We're in not a bad spot here if this connects. I mean, you would have thought they'd swords this, so... Oh no, we don't have the counter on this one. I'm such a Burke. It's this one that will trigger next turn, so fine, whatever. Alright. Oh, I was excited there for a second. I thought we were going to get 2 Blackguard triggers, but it's actually the following turn, so let's see what happens. Cycle... Oh no, predict, fair enough. So this isn't AK Miracles, I guess, then? Predict normally means they don't have room for AK. Accumulated Knowledge. This is better against Accumulated Knowledge. Damn it. Oh, jeez. We're not going to hold the Macabre. I don't think there's any point doing that. To be honest, I think I'm better off just casting it because we just need to put things into play. That's a very good draw. Now I will just hold it, and the nice thing about having the tomb with the Urborg is we don't have to pay any life. So that at least is a blessing. So let's see if you've got removal for this. So this at least will represent a reasonable clock. Really? They just have 2 swords in hand? Great. Oh jeez. I mean, this deck falls to like pretty much any interaction, a reasonable clock from the opponent, a combo from the opponent, a reasonable legacy draw out of any reasonable tier 3 upwards legacy deck. Good. Good, that's a card that we can beat. Yep, that was a good draw. I think this deck's still on what, 20? I guess it's 23 lands, but we haven't actually. We've only drawn two non-land cards since we started. I guess there's no point in moaning. This is a bad deck. I'm not gonna lie. Is it worth playing the Macabre out? Because we can play it and equip it. Probably. Yeah, there's like no reason not to, so we will. It doesn't matter if they know we've got this in the main deck because we've basically lost the game at this point anyway. We need to draw a Fatal Push or a Dismember extremely quickly. But this does at least mean that they need a couple of cards to allow this to attack and not die. Because at the moment we can block for 2 and then -2 twice. So they need to give it 3 prowess triggers, which they can reasonably probably do, to be honest. If this is a Jace bounce, then this is probably lights out. Yeah, this looks like a Jace bounce. Ugh. It's kind of a shame because they haven't actually had many cantrips, and this is the sort of curve that is very hard for us to beat. Like, they don't always get a proactive curve like this. This is just going to be bounced to Faerie Macabre, I assume. Would make the most sense, I think. Yeah. We can definitely beat these kind of strategies, but a turn 4 Mentor into a turn 4 Jace with us not drawing any pressure really. With them having, I mean, they basically had a pretty good, I mean, there's no point me moaning about it, but they basically had a pretty good draw there. If we'd been a combo deck, then we probably would have just won the game. Okay, I suppose it's not the absolute worst, so we'll cast this. And by not the absolute worst, I mean it can attack Jace without them being able to block it. Now we will Violin the Macabre on their end step. Yeah, that makes the most sense. We'll Violin the Macabre on their end step, and then they can't bounce it with the Jace. So there's a possibility we could still win through this, I suppose. If they don't have any instants or sorceries, they don't have any more interaction, which seems highly unlikely. If we could draw like another rogue, that would be ideal because then we can hold the Macabre to protect against a Snapcaster Mage. The problem with Snapcaster Mage is that I can defend it with the Macabre, but that's not even that good, really, because it still uses up a creature. And I suppose now we have to decide what's more, like, do I try and go for, do I hope they didn't have a Snapcaster Mage, Violin the Macabre, kill the Jace with the Macabre and get some counters on the Boggart to kill the Mentor, or do I play around Snapcaster Mage, hold the Macabre and just attack them to get some counters? That's kind of the question, really. Can we still, do we need to be aggressive? I don't think so. We're in a pretty bad spot anyway. If they've basically if they've drawn an instant or sorcery spell, we can't do a lot as it is. So I think we just have to, I think we're just going to hold this, attack with this equipped and play around Snapcaster. That's probably the best thing to do here. And then we'll have, once we've got some counters on this, we've then got two evasive threats to attack the Jace. It's probably the best way through this. So I don't think I'm going to Vial this in. I'm also not going to add any more counters to the Vial. Okay, that was not a good draw. But we will hold that for the time being. So let's equip this. They can't have two Snapcaster Mages. The annoying thing is we also won't really be able to kill the Mentor because they will just cast, for instance, a Brainstorm in response. So the question now is, do we go for it or do we just wait? So they brainstormed once. They haven't shuffled the top of the library away. Is it worth trying to kill the Mentor at this stage? I suppose I should do it on their upkeep and try and do it. But then it might just be better to just wait a turn, honestly. I think it's probably better to just wait a turn. Because if we can get 2 more counters on the Jitte, then we should definitely be able to kill it the turn after. I think, yeah, otherwise, so if we're continuing down the line of trying to play around them not having drawn something, I don't know. I think it's probably best to hope that... do I do it in response to this? They played a land, that may well have been what they kept on top, but then they didn't shuffle away. Do I try and kill the Mentor now? Maybe? No, I think I should wait. But then they just hold the other spell. I think I'm going to do it at this point. I think that's okay. Like, it's so likely that they hit something. So I'm sure that this will survive. I have no doubt of that. We have to be pretty lucky here. Yeah, here comes a Brainstorm, which is highly likely that they kept on top, I suppose, but there's not. I think we have to try, to be honest. And this makes their Jace Storm pretty inefficient. Like, it's pretty unlikely that we can just kill it with one Jitte trigger. So this is better than nothing. I suppose this means I'm not killing the Jace, which is dumb. Yeah, that's a good point. I should have just attacked the Jace. Yeah. Yeah, that was silly. I completely forgot about that. What I should actually have done is just save the counters to attack the Jace. So we're definitely losing this game at this point. This means they have a Snapcaster in hand, because otherwise we could Vial in the Macabre. But if they know that we're just a terrible player, which they've kind of worked out by this point, then it doesn't matter. We're basically just dead anyway. I should have Vialed in the Macabre there to kill the Jace, since we've already made a mistake. That's pretty good. Okay, so maybe we have a chance at this point. It's unlikely they have a counterbalance on 3. Maybe it's not, though. Okay, let's get in for 1 again. Try and kill the Mentor this turn, and then in response to something to protect the Mentor, we'll Dismember it. So we'll do this now. They will have a bunch of stuff going on here, and then hopefully they'll just have a Brainstorm to try and save this, and then okay, this is pretty good. So do I Dismember now? I don't think so. So they've just shuffled, so now they'll probably cast a Brainstorm, or Snapcast a Brainstorm maybe. Let's see what happens. So this is probably going to be Brainstorm, and then we can Dismember it in response. Because they don't know the top card of their library, they can't set the top card of their library here. Let's just move this out of the way. And hopefully they don't just have a Mentor on top. Yeah, I'm afraid my laptop screen is not particularly big, so once you get big stacks, it's not always the easiest. So they do have that Snapcaster in hand, which I feel like they do. They can't really do a lot here, which is pretty good. Sweet, so they whiffed on the blind flip. We should hopefully not be dead next turn. So this is the Snapcaster Mage. Spell Pierce, okay. Are we going to get crushed by Spell Pierce here somehow? Or they're just trying to make monks in response to... Yeah, they might just be trying to make more monks to try and kill us next turn, I guess. So they have a second spell pierce. We can't really play around that anyway, and we're just dead to monks next turn, so we can't pay with the 2 on the tomb. So that's fine. Hey, how's it going, Nick? This is the first game of the first match, so currently at our best possible record, which is 0-0. Well, there's actually some people watching now, which is good. I didn't think that was going to end up happening. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so at the moment we're just dead to 1. The moment we are literally just dead to 1 non-creature spell. Because we're pretty sure they've got a Snapcaster in hand. Which is... They've got a Portent, yeah. That's at them, sure. I need to auto-yield to these, I don't know why I'm not. That doesn't matter, fine. And then... I suppose... Yeah, we will be dead to a Snapcaster Plough. So they got Snapcaster Plough and Hound, we're just dead, which is probably what they've got, but there isn't a lot we can do about that. They didn't shuffle with the Portent by the looks of it. Okay, now we're just dead anyway, so I'm going to just concede. Because we can only block 1 and we're taking... a bunch. We're taking 12. Okay, alright. Alright, so we're not bringing in any of the hate pieces because it's a fair deck. We will bring in the Sorcerous Spyglasses. We need the Dismember. And we can probably just cut. Against Miracles we can cut some Snitches because these aren't very good. Against Plough. So I think this is the change I would make. To be honest. Like, Miracles can just play through Trinisphere and Nether Void by just drawing lands and drawing Disenchant, which they'll be bringing in anyway. So I don't think this is very good. And we want to keep our removal in for a bunch of stuff. I don't know if they're going to side out. I don't know. You think they're going to side out Jace against this? I find that highly unlikely. I think Spyglass is fine. Like Jace, like if they keep Jace in, which seems like they probably will, I suppose we can kill it on the board. I mean, I don't know if I'd even... I guess, alright, I guess maybe we just do that then. We'll give it a go. It's possible to bring... We could bring a Minister of Pain, but I don't think we really need to. Like, it's removing the... mental, that's the annoying thing. Alright, we'll try this then. Well, I could swap a push for a Snitch, I guess. Maybe. Do this. Because push is hard to trigger against... I mean, I've only got... The only way I can trigger it myself is through Wastelands. I suppose I could actually just cut a Wasteland, that probably makes sense. Go down land, do this. That's probably fine. Give this a go. If we're going to go a bit longer. Let's try this. Alright, this seems fine. So we can go turn 1 Blackguard. We've got some hasty Frogtossers. So actually this means if we draw another land, we can go turn 3, hit them with 2 Frogtossers, which is kind of sweet. So we'll keep this. This has the potential to get kind of nutty, actually. Yeah, I suppose they both answer Mentor, but I don't know. Dismember... Like, Dismember's probably a better answer for this deck, because Trinisphere, they can just answer with whatever they bring in for the Jitte anyway. I suppose it does slow their cantripping down a whole bunch. But I don't know, yeah, which one? I don't think Trinisphere is very good in fair matchups because Banneret's really is like one of the cards we're trying to lean on in fair matchups. So if we're making this bad, that doesn't seem the best, I guess, is kind of my logic there. Like, you don't care against combo because they don't have very much mana anyway. So it doesn't really matter that much, but... Well, thanks everyone that's actually watching. If you want to watch some better Magic, the Mythic Championship is currently on. But this should be good fun. If we can get some cool wins, that'd be sweet. That's potentially a good sign for us. So we'll slam the Blackguard and pass the turn. So this turn, if we draw a land, I think this turn, whatever happens, we're just going to Frogtosser. Now they've swords that, we'll just play another Blackguard. Got him scared, chat. Got him scared. This does mean if we played this turn, that next turn we could go... No, let's just play the Blackguard. They got another removal spell. They got another removal spell. We need to get some guys with counters on kind of as soon as possible here, really. They just have a second swords. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they have a second swords? Makes perfect sense. Great. If we could draw a land, that'd be good as well. I suppose this way it now means these are probably going to stay around, so we can just put some crappy pressure in play. And it does mean we can trigger the squad soon, which is good. Squad is very good against miracles, actually, because you just take out the Mentors and the Jaces, and then the deck doesn't do anything anymore. Ooh, we got him super scared. Nice. What did we get rid of? Back to basics. Nice. Back to basics. That's pretty good. I love getting people to Force of Will Bog Boyz cards. It's so satisfying. It's just the best. So that's gone okay. We've gone down to 3 cards, and we still have a bunch of... I would hesitate to call this gas, but like okay things, I guess. Yeah, 1-1's too strong. Are you going to predict me? What are you predicting? Swamp, I guess? Blind predict Swamp? Oh, they flipped the Jitte, which is actually fine, honestly. I'm totally okay with that. I'm not going to auto pass now. We got the Macabre. How's it going, Pete? The tickets are going to good use. Don't jace me. Come on, really? What a load. What an absolute load. Can we draw a land? Please, can we draw a land? That would be great. If we can draw a land, we can just hit the Jace with 2 Frogtossers. That'd be so good. I feel like we've got a better chance here, but we need to draw some lands. Now I'm regretting cutting the Wasteland. Or maybe I should have cut the Jitte. That was possibly an option. Thinking back. Come on. Damn it. I kind of want to cast that now as well, but... I think they named Swamp. I'm pretty sure they would have named Swamp. Yeah, they named Swamp, which is like what they should do. Alright. What's more likely? Should I Frogtosser or should I Vial? Like, the Vial's super slow anyway. Yeah, I should have sided out a Vial and left the Wasteland in. I think I need to play Frogtossers as well. The Vial's like too slow at this point. I need to kill this Jace. The fact this has haste is like the reason it's good. The cost reduction is obviously good, but the haste is like actually quite useful, which is funny. It's just a shame that we've diluted the boys with some fairies, but you need help from your friends when you're struggling. Is this going to be a mentor? Really? Council's Judgment. Sure thing. That is fine. Council's Judgment resolves. Right, I need to play a bit more quickly. We're still 3 minutes behind. Actually, no, we've caught up a minute. That's pretty good. Come on. Can we draw a land, please? I don't want to lose to not drawing lands. That sucks so much. What's this now? Predict. Sure. You're not targeting me anymore, so you know what's on top, I guess? I suppose you do. Okay. Oh, come on. You predicted into the blue card. That's such a tilt. Come on. Please, can we draw a land? Come on. I feel like we've got him on the back foot here, for sure. But our lack of land drawing is really putting us in a bad spot here. Now we're going to get mentored. Yay. Good times had by all. Let's just pass through this turn. They're not going to... They've already played land, I think. If we'd just drawn a land, this wouldn't be in play anymore. And we'd have a board. We don't get very lucky on the Bog Boyz streams, which is a shame. You kind of, for a deck like this, you do really kind of need a bit of luck, which we do not currently have. Alright, well, let's just get these Vars in play, I guess. Which we're not going to have any time to use these, but it is what it is, friends. If they can just draw lands, I suppose, that's not bad for us. Like, at some point, even with the Jace, you'd hope they might run out of gas, but that seems unlikely. Yeah, why didn't I silence Spyglass? It's weird. It's almost as if I knew that the Jace was the thing that was going to kill us. Deary me. Oh, good. Second mentor. That seems reasonable and beatable. Thing is, the only thing I can play next turn is this. We're basically just dead at this point, which is a real shame. Come on. Yeah, sure. Play the back to basics. God damn it. Spyglass on mentor. I wish we could, Pete. I really wish we could. Oh, I've only drawn a land at some point. That would have been so good. This hand was really set up to be not that bad if we'd just drawn a land. And now it's just too late, really. Yeah. Because this is also not very good because they have back to basics. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're dead to one card next turn. And this can't block, so we have to cast this, which they can Snapcast to kill anyway. So I guess we'll just have to cast the Macabre. That's like the worst possible spot. Like, we have no way out of this. We have absolutely stone cold nothing to get out of this. This is a no surrender stream though. When we're playing Bog Boyz, this is an absolutely no surrender stream. I may have surrendered the first game, I can't remember. Yay! You know, they might misclick through their combat 13 turns. No, 7 turns in a row. Oh good, second Jace. Maybe they missed the line? Damn it, they saw the line. Okay, just F6. 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 No, never mind. Well, that was a shame. For some reason the hotkey didn't work there. There we go. Oh. Alrighty then. That was kind of a rough one. Yeah, Jitte would have been better to side out than the Wasteland, but even so, not drawing a third land for the entirety of that game kind of sucked. But welcome everybody that's hanging around. So let's just go to the deck screen quickly. Alright, so I haven't streamed in a couple of weeks, so some of you may not have seen me before. So my name's Ethan, and I live in the UK and play Legacy very casually and like memeing people sometimes. So today we're playing Bog Boyz, and a slightly updated version of Bog Boyz. So I streamed this, I don't know, a month ago, I would say. It's kind of entertaining. This is a revised version this is probably the list I'm likely to play in the Legacy Challenge this Sunday, which I will stream, and we're going to play all 7 rounds or 6 rounds, whatever it is, and see what we can do to frustrate our opponents. So this is the list that we're trying out for that. We've removed a bunch of terrible hand disruption, and we've added some fairy help to give our Bog squad a bit more of a fighting chance. So Oona's Blackguard is like kind of what the deck's based around, in that if we get rogues into play with counters on them, our opponent discards cards, which is good for us and makes them sad. We also have prowl triggers that we can get from rogues to get Auntie Snitch in for free and get it back from the graveyard, which is kind of sweet. And then Earwig Squad is like the best card in the deck. So we can prowl this into play. We can just remove our opponent's win conditions, which is fantastic against combo decks and control decks alike. And then we've got some other stuff to help enable that. So we've got some cost reducers, evasive creatures to get in to trigger, more evasive creatures to get in, and this also just provides a bit of a clock. And then in the sideboard we've got some stuff to get rid of combo. So against combo we're bringing like Trinisphere, Nether Void, it's pretty sweet. And then in the land base we've got a couple of tombs to help get out our lock pieces. Cavern of Souls is kind of essential to cast these things through can magic. Mutavault isn't as good in this deck because it doesn't work with Blackguard, whereas it worked with Cabal Slaver, but it still works with Snitch and Squad. And then we've got one Urborg and a bunch of Wastelands because we're monocoloured and we kind of need those to stand a chance against land strategies. So that's basically what we're trying to do. That's the wrong tab. There we go. Okay, so let's crack on for the next one. So obviously this deck is terrible, but if we get some good luck, we can win games with it. I said this last time, and we didn't win a game. We haven't won any games this time so far, but I feel like that first one was a bit of a free roll. We got some bad luck there. So hopefully, if we can get some better luck, if we can run into like not Reanimator but combo, like Storm in theory should be a doable matchup. Burn actually I think is not too bad because Jitte helps us gain life. We have a bunch of basic lands, and in the sideboard, Trinisphere and Nether Void are very good against burn. So that could be okay. Creature-based strategies are tough because our creatures aren't very good, but we do have Jitte and we have Minister of Pain in the sideboard. So Minister of Pain has an enter the battlefield trigger where you can sacrifice itself or another creature, and then all your opponent's creatures get -1/-1. So kills True Name and is pretty good against things like Death and Taxes. But we'll see how it goes. Last time we played this in a league, we basically just ran into Reanimator like twice. Punishing Loam, which is also a horrific matchup just because Punishing Fire ranches us, and it also just has big beaters and a Marital Age, which is pretty bad. Yeah, so we'll see. Miracles is winnable. We just need to get a bit more fortunate in our draws, I think. So we definitely had a spot there where they deployed the Jace. They didn't have any cards left in hand really, and we had a couple of turns where if we'd just drawn lands 2 turns in a row, I think we would have been able to take the Jace off the board and lock that one up. But unfortunately we just stumbled on mana, so that was a real shame I think. But in any case, let's see how we do. So we basically need to get lucky and queue into quite specific decks I think, which is the philosophy. So see how this goes. But as I say, we'll try something like this in the Legacy Challenge on Sunday, which should be good fun. So make sure you're around for that. If you want to see me play actual decks badly rather than bad decks poorly, I do have a YouTube link under the channel as well, so make sure you check that out. I've got some Blue Red Delver on there, Maverick, Turbo Depths, a few things. There's the other Bog Boyz League as well, so Hopefully the queue time's not too bad. You'd hope that people might be watching the Mythic Championship and playing Legacy. And if you're watching this instead of watching the Mythic Championship, what are you doing? I mean, really, what are you actually doing with yourself? But still, if you're watching, then appreciate you hanging around for this. What's the mic volume like? I can't have it too close because I tend to knock it over, but hopefully it's not too quiet. Hopefully the queue times won't be too bad. And make sure, if you do want to catch the stream on Sunday, and next week I'll try and do a few more streams. I'll probably be able to do a few in a row at the beginning of the week. Not playing this, playing some real decks. Make sure you hit the follow button, and then you'll know when I go live, because I don't really have a schedule at the moment. I probably will plan an actual schedule out for the next couple of months before I move. So I'll let you know about that, but in the meantime, if you have the follow thing on, then it means that you'll know when I go live, which is normally midweek, kind of like 1 PM UK time, in like weekdays. Are we going to break the queue record? My queue record, I think, is 5 minutes something. That's the longest queue time I've ever had. I've not gotten to like 4.5 minutes for a while, I don't think. So this is not the best. It's hard to compete with the Mythic Championship when you're just sitting in the queue, I suppose. This could be it. This could be the record-breaking moment, which I suppose is better than nothing. It doesn't at least mean that we'll be breaking some records on this stream, at least today. Alright, so we're in the 5 minutes. I can't actually remember what it was. I think it was like 5 minutes 15 or something. So if you get to like 5:20, I'm pretty sure we will have broken the record. If we get to 5.5 minutes, well, that's fair enough, Grim. If you're that desperate for legacy content, I guess watching someone play a bad deck poorly is okay. I appreciate you hanging around. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is the longest queue time I've ever had, so I'm going to give that an oh yeah. Oh yeah! Definitely 5.5 minutes is the longest I've ever had as a queue time. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't even know if this is a tier 5 deck. This is like, I don't know what this is. Yeah, tier 199. That's pretty generous still, I feel. That's still probably pretty generous. But we'll see. If we can win a game, that'd be a good improvement on the last league. I do feel like it's possible to win a match with this as well. But we'll see how it goes. If we queue into anybody, that would be great. If you can not queue into the same person multiple times in a row, that would also be good. But we'll just have to see how this plays out. Do you play much Legacy yourself, Grim? I think I'm saying that right. Do you play tier 5 decks yourself? I've been known to play Goblins and Paper, which is good fun. This is a hell of a queue time. 6 minutes 40. That is a hell of a queue time. Mono Red Storm's pretty sweet. I don't think that's tier 5. That's got to be like, I don't know. I'm not a big subscriber to the tier philosophy anyway, I guess. But that's like, you can win things with that, right? That's better than Belcher, I think. High praise. I don't mean that in an insulting way. Better than Belcher, but I don't know. Mono Red Storm's pretty sweet. Yeah, I know. I'm kidding. Oh, geez, 7 minutes. Started to rain pretty heavily here. Maybe that's foreshadowing. Whew. Well, I'm glad you could all enjoy me here for this exciting. Ah, sweet. There we go. We didn't make it to 8 minutes, which is good. Yeah, Pox is. I guess. Yeah, Pox is not the best, I suppose, but it's also still playable. I have some friends that like to think Pox is decent. Okay, this hand is not the worst. So we'll keep this. We have a vial, which is nice. So we can get a couple of Prickly Boys into play. We've got a Frogtosser. We've got a Macabre if they've got some sort of reanimator strategy. It's not, but yeah, maybe not Boggart level bad. That's fair. Chalice on 1 is okay, so we can't vial anything in anymore. But having the Cavern of Souls is good. So hopefully this isn't Moon Stompy. Otherwise we're not in a good spot because I can't cast things. But if it's something like Eldrazi, we might be okay. That was a very good draw, potentially. I'm not even sure. Right, let's right, I'm gonna go rogue. Let's see if we can beat something. That's fine. Our opponent now doesn't know what to do with themselves because they've already Cavern on Row, Prickly Boggart. Okay, so it is post. So this could be over relatively quickly. We need to draw a Wasteland quite quickly. At least it means we can cast our spells. Thought Not Seer is pretty bad for us, to be honest. Yeah, Thought Not Seer is pretty bad because this is just a clock that we can't race very easily. That said, hopefully if they just have to keep using the tomb, we might be okay. So Wasteland would be good. If we can keep the Blackguard, yeah, they're obviously going to take that. If we can draw like another Blackguard, that'd also be good. Let's see what we can do here. Second Frogtosser is not the best. So I guess we're just going to get in for 1 and play a Frogtosser. It's fine. Then it means next turn we can go Frogtosser and Boggart or potentially Macabre. Doesn't really matter when I cast these. Let's get in for 1 and hope to draw land next turn. Yeah, that's not the best for us. Matter Reshaper is beatable for sure. Wasteland would definitely be good soon. Yeah, so they definitely need to race, that's fine. Faerie Macabre is kind of interesting. The thing is, Prickly Boggart's just, I guess it's evasive. Yeah, okay. I think the best thing to do is probably just to play... It's probably just to play a Faerie Macabre, in all honesty. Because we could play both of these, but only the Boggart is evasive. And playing a second Frogtosser doesn't mean we can cast these for any less the following turn. So I think for now, we're fine. We may as well just do this. I think this is absolutely fine. And this flies, so we can get him with that. And I mean, depending upon what else they've got in hand, they can't necessarily get super aggressive with this, I suppose. But I suppose that just helps them draw things anyway, so that's kind of annoying, because that's now very quick of a clock, and they can take the other Faerie Macabre. So I'm glad we played one of these last turn. We really need to draw like a Siege Gang or something. They're taking the Frogtosser, that's kind of interesting. I think I would have taken the Faerie Macabre, in all honesty. We'll take 7 here, that's fine, I think. Yeah, because we can block with the Prickly Boggart next turn if we need to. Oh, we're just going to die to not drawing any lands again. That's a shame. So if we can draw a land, this will buy us a whole bunch of time, which is good. So in the meantime, I guess we are just going to cast a second Faerie Macabre. And get in for... So we need 4 turns to kill them. No, so if we get in for 3, that puts them to 9, and they're dead in 2 to the Macabres, and we can chump with the Frogtosser. Don't know if we're going to be able to do it. I think we're going to have to trade the Matter Reshaper for the Faerie Macabre this coming turn. I think that's probably what we're going to have to do. And we'll also have to chump the Thought-Knot Seer, I think. Yeah, I think so. So in that case, maybe we should not attack with this and just get in for 2. That might be better. This still puts them to 9. I think we'll do this and then trade chump. This kind of needs to stay in play for a turn because we need to draw a land for this. So I think that's okay. And we just have to hope they've got like nothing else, pretty much. Trading this isn't the best, but I don't think we have much choice. This seems like it's really bad for us. This smells like a Walking Ballista. It is a Walking Ballista. So now the game is basically over. Yeah, that sucks. I've got a Grim Monolith, that's fine. That's a real shame, yeah. Yeah, just didn't draw any lands again, which really sucks. If we drawn a land to get this into play, that would have been really good. But we just couldn't put them under enough pressure, which we could have done if they'd had the tomb, since they had the tombs. But Ballista's pretty hard for this deck to beat, in all honesty, since it's a reasonable Magic card. But never mind, I suppose. So I guess we'll just cast the Boggart. Oh, I've completely forgot there's a Chalice. That was a mistake. Never mind. Anyway, we're dead. We're dead. It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Savage, wrecked, absolutely taken down.
Ooh. Right. Okay. Let's try again. So Eldrazi, we can bring in Dismember. We definitely want Sorcerous Spyglass for the Walking Blisters, and we also want Warren Weirding. And we can take out the Faerie Macabres. These are evasive, but we don't care about the graveyard, and we do have other creatures. Fatal Push. Fatal Push is probably also worth cutting, honestly, because oh yeah, Damping Sphere. Yeah, that's a great shout. We've got the Damping Spheres too. I think Fatal Push is worth cutting as well because we still want to kill them, and so we need to keep in threats. And Fatal Push is so hard to hit Revolt with, and also just doesn't kill a lot of the stuff they've got, I suppose. So I think I'd be inclined to side that out. I think other than that, I guess maybe one Jitte. Spyglass stops Walking Ballista and Endbringer. So I think Spyglass is fine. Like, Walking Ballista is so bad for us since everything we've got is like 1 toughness, that we really, really need answers to Spyglass, to be honest. I think it's pretty like if they get a Ballista in play, we're basically dead. So having a couple of Spyglasses, a couple of Dismembers as ways to get rid of it, plus potentially a Jitte seems okay. Yeah, we basically just lose otherwise. I think that's fine. Yeah, okay, we'll give this a go. The problem with Damping Sphere though is like it's okay against this matchup, but with our deck, they can still just, like, we're so slow anyway. Can still just lose. We didn't draw any Wastelands, which was annoying. This hand has potential, so we'll definitely keep this. The Weirding's good. Basic Swamp's nice. Wasteland would be nice. Would be really nice. Sweet. This is a really good one to Wasteland as well. So that was a very nice draw. Slows us down a little bit, but doesn't really matter. Yeah, you have a Caracas. That's a good draw, so put the Jitte into play, get in for one. Now I feel like we've got a good chance here. And we've got a Weirding for their first threat too. Hopefully it's not a Mallory Shaper, that would be kind of annoying. They have a Ratchet Bomb, fine. Okay, this is pretty good. So now we can equip the Jitte. And our deck's actually pretty good against Ratchet Bomb because all our stuff costs different CMCs. Sure, you have a counter on your Ratchet Bomb. So they're probably going to tick this up to kill Jitte, which is absolutely fine. Unfortunately, actually that's true, this doesn't... I suppose maybe we should have prowled in the Snitch. But this means we get one turn with this to help kill something, which isn't the worst. For some reason I had it in my head that this was one for Prowl, but that's with a Frogtosser in play, so possible that I should have just put this into play, but I don't know, I think getting the counters is kind of important. Why is this in your deck? I don't understand. Why is that in your deck? This is the only one drop. And we have these. It's very bizarre. I guess they just don't have anything to change with it, I guess. So strange. Okay, this is a good draw. So let's play Cavern. Put Cavern on Rogue. And then we can't cast the Marsh Flitter this turn, but we can go Frogtosser into Snitch, which is what we'll do. Although I suppose Frogtosser loses to Ratchet Bomb, so actually I should probably just go Flitter, thinking about it. So they're going to Ratchet Bomb the Jitte away anyway. So I'll probably just pump this twice and play the Flitter, I think is the best thing to do here. I think that makes the most sense. Because there's no point just getting this Ratchet Bombed away for no reason. And a Wasteland at some point soon would be very good. But I feel like we're not in the absolute worst spot here. Make them take 5 is pretty good. And then we shall do this. Yep. So this could be Smasher. I guess it could also be Walking Ballista. That's fine. Alright, so they did that in a weird order. I don't think the life gain matters. I suppose it's fine. Like, is it worth pumping the Boggart in case they have a Ballista? Is kind of what I'm thinking. I guess it really doesn't matter that much. Let's just let's just gain 2 life. That seems fine. This like potentially buys us a turn against them swinging in with something. So it's a Thought-Knot Seer, that's fine. So they just take the Warren Weirding. That's not the worst. Like they have to take this. And then we can just play both of these, which is fine. And again, the clock's not amazing, really, but we are doing 2 a turn that's evasive. And if they just sit back, they will lose, so they do have to be aggressive with that. And this means at least that they might not have another good land. Like, they obviously just don't have other lands in hand, which is good. Well, that was a really good draw. That's actually a very quick clock. So in that case, I think. Okay, so what we can do now is just attack like this. Whichever goblin rogue they block will pump this into a 3/3. I think this is fine because we just want to kill them. We don't have any way of pumping these once they're already in play, so this seems fine. And we really, really want to just get them dead. So I think playing the second Marsh Flitter is the way to go over playing the Auntie Snitch. Sure, okay. I'm not going to sacrifice anything in this case then. I'll just make you take that much. That's absolutely fine by me. Let's play the Marsh Flitter. I don't understand why they didn't make me block, honestly. I don't know what they're worried about there. Sweet! We won a game! Take that, Francis. We won a game.
Oh yeah!
Oh, that is sweet. Alright, we're going to go with the same plan, I think. I think we'll go with the same plan. I don't think there's any reason to change that. Yeah, Fatal Push is just bad against the post deck. It only answers pretty much Walking Ballista. So this seems fine. Let's run it back. Oh, Marsh Flitter getting it done. So good. Are we going to win a match? Is that possible? This is not a bad draw. So we've got basic lands. Hopefully they mulligan or something. So we've got basic lands into Blackguard, into Flitter, which is great. This is going to be a big clock. They've kept 7, we'll keep 7. We've got a Wasteland for their first Soul Land, so okay, this is a really good setup. We can run back to the same thing basically. So 10 out of 10 Wastelanding the Temple on the first turn. This is a really good draw actually. So drawing the Frogtosser means we can curve Blackguard into Hasty Frogtosser into a 3-mana Flitter. So it's pretty good. How's it going, Striker? Yeah, this is basically Black and Treat the Angels. It's absolutely awesome. All right. Pretty good draw there. It's 1-1, so we have a possibility of winning a match here. If they can just not draw any more lands, we might be okay. If we don't get Thornot Seared this turn, we might be okay. Damn it. Don't Thornot Sear me, bro. Don't do it. You don't want to do it. Just cast Walking Ballista. Chalice on 1 is fine. Chalice on 1 is fine. Sure. Chalice on 1 resolves. Okay, let's get Blackguard in play. This seems fine. We just want to make stuff big, so I don't think we've got any reason to... Oh, and then next turn, now we've got the Vial, next turn we can Vial in Banneret and then play the Marsh Flitter for 3 mana, so that seems fantastic. Yeah. Vial plus Blackguard is very good. Okay. So I guess they just top deck that. Okay, this seems good for us. This seems really good for us. And they're gonna discard one of their cards this turn. Are we gonna win? Are we gonna win something with this? Are we gonna win a match? Is that gonna happen? I mean, this is gonna be a decent clock. I mean, look at this. It's gonna be all right, I think. As long as we don't get All is Dusted. Trigger. This is the first Blackguard trigger of the league, so seems good. Everything in their hand they want to keep, because I'm pretty sure they just topped the... Oh, yes! You're kidding me!
Oh, yeah!
Oh, we did it. We won a match. Oh, I think we've cracked it. I think this is it. We had a pretty rough start. Sorry, I just knocked on my desk there. We had a pretty rough start. We lost to Miracles. I mean, they just noob lucked their way out of it. Let's be honest. It was complete. Well, they just top decked, obviously, their way out of this. But we managed to win a whole match of Magic the Gathering on Magic Online Legacy Competitive League. I might add, Competitive League. So we won a whole match. I think that means this deck is busted. Like, legitimately busted. I don't think you can argue with that. Too easy indeed. Easy peasy. Well, that's quite the thing. So we'll just ignore the first one. The first one's just, I think, just the error range at the moment. At the moment, this deck is definitely in the busted category. I knew it had potential. I knew it had potential. I mean, everyone was warned. I mean, we streamed a month ago with this, so you had fair warning. I mean, we're on the new ladder season right now, right? So get some trophies with this. Watch out. So we should like easily win the league on Sunday then, with how clean that was. Well, thanks everyone that's still hanging around. Hopefully we won't have an 8-minute queue time for this match, but dispatching nerds. I don't know what round they're on in the Mythic Championship, actually, at this point. But appreciate everybody that has decided to watch the highest quality Magic content that is currently on Twitch instead of the Mythic Championship. So make sure if you want to catch the Sunday challenge stream, you've got the follow button clicked. Okay, next victim. Next victim. We're on the draw though, which is a shame. Okay, this hand is pretty reasonable in that it has a Jitte and a Vial, so it does something that's slightly unfair potentially. So if it's not reanimated, we might be okay. So let's get this Vial in play. And then next turn, depending upon what happens, we can Vial in the Boggart and then Tomb in the Jitte. Force the Vial. Pitching a Force. That's okay. We can deal with that one. We can definitely deal with that one. Nice Wasteland. This seems like we're in an okay spot though. This seems a fair matchup, should be okay. As long as we get a good draw. Okay, I think we're probably okay just to go Boggart Jitte, to be honest. That's probably fine. Let's cast this, see what happens. See what our opponent's reaction is. If this gets dazed, that's okay. Alright, now we'll go Ancient Tomb Jitte. They had a chance. Let's see what happens. Now we're going to get Spell Pierce or something. So Blue-Red Delver probably. Maybe Grixis. Yep, that gets Spell Pierce. That's okay. Not the worst in the world. That gets Wastelanded. That's fine. We can Wasteland them this turn. Yeah, 1 mana True Name. It's just the nuts. Okay, so this Wasteland's looking pretty good here. I think it's okay to take a turn off to Wasteland them. I don't really want to get tree named next turn, so let's get in for 1. Like, leaving them with a basic mountain seems like pretty good value. This could get stifled, so I guess we'll do this in their upkeep. That's pretty good that resolved. Please don't have a blue mana source. Wasteland is fine. Wasteland is fine, friendo. Oh, this is going to be very good. So now we can deploy our completely busted card. Get in with Bog Name Nemesis. You feeling prickly, opponent? You feeling the prickle? Feeling the little prickle? Let's get a Blackguard in play. That resolved, that feels good. Like, I think beating, like, I think this deck is able to beat Delver with them not having blue mana. Now they've drawn blue mana, that may be more difficult. That's fine, that resolves. Okay, that's pretty good. So get him with the Frogtosser. Get some tossers in play. Toss some fun around. Toss in everybody. Off. So if we draw a land this turn, we can get the Marsh Flitter into play, which is pretty good. Yeah, you brainstorm resolves. Brainstorm resolves. I'll allow it. That was a good draw. Don't daze me. Don't daze me. Just resolve. Maybe I should have played around daze. That probably would have been sensible. Probably would have been sensible. Wow, we're just going to get forced. Pitching, brainstorm. Yeah, makes sense. Whew, we've definitely got the fear in them. We have definitely got the fear in them. Yeah, it's possible I should have played that round days, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, Noggin Whack, I suppose, is possibly worth playing. Since we already, I guess it's easier to cast than him, which is true. But we tried the him version in the previous league, and it didn't feel like it was necessarily the place to be. And for this version, for combo, we've just got like a bunch of Trinispheres, so we'll see how that goes. Right, if you don't have... Alright, so we'll play this around a daze, but it feels like we should be able to just kill this. I don't know what they could possibly have. So we're going to play this around a daze. That's perfect. Let's kill this. Hang on. Let's do this properly. Oh no, I guess actually it doesn't matter, does it? Let's just... Yeah, I've drawn the land. I'm just being silly. Play the Frogtosser. Feeling in a good spot, not gonna lie. They now have 3 turns left against our 3/1/1s. We could definitely try a version with Noggin Whack, just mainly for the memes. So Marsh Flitter would be pretty good here. Squad's probably fine. Second Pyro is pretty annoying, so removal would be good. It's not really removal, but we'll take it because it's evasive, I guess. And they are running out of time, so I think Noggin Whack's probably pretty bad as well. So if they don't have removal spells, we're not looking the worst because we've got Bog Name Nemesis and our flying Blackguard at the ready. That just seems fine. I mean, they've only got 1 red mana. I mean, we're just going to crack him with everything, so do your worst. Are we going to win a game? Are we going to win another game? They need a removal spell now. And they take 3. No, they take 2. If they block with the Pyromancer. So they do have the Bolt, which sucks. This is like the worst scenario, but they're still taking 2 for guaranteed. So they can trade with the Frogtosser, take 2. What else do they have? Vapor Snag. Really? Hang on, let's just turn off auto yields. This is fine though. This, I don't know if you wanted to do that because this is now going to be a 2/2 Faerie Boggart. I don't know if you wanted to bounce that, in all honesty. I'm not sure that that was necessarily the best possible play there. Like, it's going to kill you, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, this is just 2 turns on its own now, and you've only drawn a Wasteland. So you have to draw a removal spell this turn or you're dead. Oh, baby. Look at this. This is just like good. This is just good stuff right here. This is only the second Blackguard trigger of the league, unfortunately, and it's not. Oh no, did we not get it? I guess because they have no cards in hand. Yep, that's. Alright, Delver, so Minister of Pain for True Name, Dismember for Delver. Jitte's very good. So probably just take out 3 Faerie Macabres, in all honesty. I think it's fine. Yeah, nice Delver deck. Nice brew, noob. Nice brew. We're playing tier decks on this stream. Seems fine. Like, it flies against Delver, which is good, but everything else is like, yeah, we'll give this a go. Yeah, four main Beck Faerie Macabre. We haven't hit anything to really cheese anyone with that yet, but the hope is there. The hope is there. I don't think we can keep 1 land. It does have a Vial, but we can't even Vial Blackguard into Blackguard, really. So this is just a mulligan. This is way better. So we'll get rid of probably just one of the caverns. Maybe the Mutavault, honestly. Yeah, maybe just the Mutavault, so we've got enough black mana. The Mutavault works nicely with the Auntie Snitch. Did they keep 7? They kept 7. I think I'm going to get rid of the Mutavault, because if I get the Cavern Wastelanded, that could be annoying. It's kind of tricky, actually. I guess I shouldn't really play Scared. Like, everything costs 1 and a black anyway, pretty much, so let's just get rid of a Cavern. That seems fine. We'll be able to deploy at least one of these through a daze anyway, so it seems fine. Sure, nice Delver. Okay, that's fine. It's a shame we didn't draw a Vial, but well, the blind flip is not the best.
What a move!
Let's see if we can ride this Oona's Blackguard to victory. So the second one will come in with a counter on it, which would be good. If we can fade removal for a couple of turns, we'll be in a pretty good spot here. Yeah, we'll take 3. But I'm hoping that we can get to a point where they might even consider whether it's whether they want to attack, but we'll see, I guess. Alright, this is fine. So I suppose we'll play the Mutavault this... No, I guess you should just play the Swamp. Let's cast this. Do whatever you're going to do. They probably have removal. That's probably how this works. No? Nice. Okay, that's pretty good. So if we get to connect with this next turn, it'll trigger off with both of them as well, which is pretty good. Now, what's the best land to play here? So if we prowl this next turn, it will cost 2, so we can't Mutavault anyway. I don't really want to get Wastelanded. Let's just play the Swamp. That's probably just the best thing to do here. Because this, yeah, that just seems fine. That kind of sucks. So hopefully they don't have removal. Hopefully it's just... So yeah, they're going to attack with the Delver? They are, yeah, fair enough. I guess that makes sense. They're just going to try and kill us really quickly. But they will be discarding 2 cards unless they have a removal spell this turn. Which seems fine, honestly. Seems pretty good. Removal of our own would be really good. If we can kill the Delver, I think we're going to be in a good spot. That actually is not the worst draw in the world. That's actually pretty good. So let's cast this now. Get in for... this means they discard 3 cards if we connect. Is this gonna... Are they gonna remove this now? Oh. What are we looking for a basic island? We're gonna snag this. Okay, that makes sense. That's pretty annoying actually. Sure thing. That's a bit of a shame. It's a shame we don't have a hasty thing to put in as well. I guess now we're just going to replay the other Blackguard then. Because I'd like to block elemental tokens. And we might trade for a Delver this turn as well, actually. That's something that might happen. So get in for 1. Oh yeah, of course, and this comes in as a 3-drop. That's pretty good. Okay, let's see if we can do this.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for 'em.
We need them to stumble a little bit, though, I think. Like, if they hit removal, we're going to be in a bad spot, possibly. But they didn't have it last turn, necessarily. If this is a good brainstorm, they could definitely put this game away. That's kind of scary, having the shuffle effect. Like if they just kill both of these this turn, yeah, I don't feel so good about our chances. Because this can't block, which is the the thing that's not that great about it. And this isn't pumped by either of these because it doesn't enter the battlefield as a fairy or as a rogue even. Okay, that's fine. So we're just going to trade with this because we kind of have to. So that's okay, I suppose. What would be great is if we just draw like a Marsh Flitter this turn. If we draw a Marsh Flitter this turn and they don't have removal for this, then I feel a lot better about where we are. That also isn't the worst draw in the world. And it means we can play both of these, which is pretty good. So let's get in for 1, because we're definitely not blocking with this. We'll be able to block anything with this for a little while, which is good. So let's prowl our squad. take out, I guess, probably just their removal, maybe True Name. Sure, you can take the Brainstorm. They might just go wide enough, to be honest. But I think we just need to take out, what are we on? 1, 2, 3. So we can block 2 things, and we can block 1 thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to take removal, I think. So, or just like bolts, basically. This can't be bolted now though, which is pretty good. So probably just taking lightning bolts, which there are 3 in the deck. There are 3 True Names. Don't really care about those at the moment. I think probably just taking 3 lightning bolts. I guess Delve is pretty annoying, but we just need to cut down their chance of drawing, burn, and removal. So we'll just get rid of these. Yeah, nothing else really matters. Terramander's kind of annoying, I guess, but we don't want to lose next turn. So that seems fine. I guess I should have casted this off Mutavault, actually, thinking about it. That was probably a bit of a punt there, but never mind. So this can't block, which they might not realise themselves, to be perfectly honest. It's entirely possible they don't remember that this can't block either. And in fact, it may have been better to just play this and just leave the mana up to pump that. That might have been the better line there. Okay, they didn't attack, so they may have forgotten this can't block. Are we getting cleats? No, they drew the Staticaster. Okay. That's honestly... it's kind of annoying, but... I guess they could have 2 Staticasters. They must have had 2 Staticasters, maybe. Unless they just literally drew it. So we're just going to sit here for a little while, I guess. Let's play the Mutavault. Is there any point attacking with the Snitch? I guess so, because they have to block with 2 of their things, so we'll just attack with this. Like, this isn't blocking anyway. And they have to trade 2 of their elementals for it, which seems totally fine by me. And if you're just going to chump it, that also seems totally fine. Yeah, okay. I'm okay with this. And like, if this eats a bolt, if we try and block something, that's also fine. So True Name's annoying here, but I don't know. Maybe there's definitely an argument that just I should have just taken the True Names, but I think, I mean, we've got the Minister of Pains in the deck. I probably should have brought these in, thinking about it, but it's not very good against... I mean, we can't kill True Name through a Pyromancer with that anyway, so don't know really. Maybe I should have just taken these and just hoped they just didn't hit removal. That was probably the better way to play that, actually, which is a shame. So we can play another Boggart. Attack in 4. So they can kill this by blocking it and doing that, but whatever. This gets eaten by the Staticaster, but still kind of whatever. Oh, they just block with the True Name. They just, yeah, whatever. I think True Name plus Staticaster means we're probably not going to win this one, in all honesty. Sure. Like, we need to draw a Minister of Pain basically this turn. Or are we actually just dead this turn now? The Terramander basically locks it up. I don't think we have any more draws now they've drawn this. Because we can Minister of Pain, but they can pump that in response, then we're just dead. Especially since they're getting this attack in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If you have Delver and Terramander, it seems weird that you wouldn't just... I guess you can just pump this, but it seems weird that you wouldn't just attack with everything, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't. Like, you don't care about this anymore, I suppose. We've got nothing in hand. What could I possibly draw? But it doesn't really matter that much. That's a shame. Okay. We'll call it there. So, yeah, maybe I should have just thought to myself, if they've got enough removal anyway, I'm not going to beat removal. and cutting them down from like 8 removal spells to 6 removal spells or whatever isn't that meaningful, whereas taking out the true names at least gives us a chance, so that was probably silly. So we'll see if we can get the third one. Don't think we want to change anything. That all seems fine. Faerie Macabre does seem more attractive to block Terramanders, but I don't think... I mean, we've got removal for them. We've got like Dismember, we've got Fatal Push. This is fine. Let's just run it back. See if we can do this. Let's get some Bog Boyz hype in the chat. This hand seems fine. We've got to push for a Delver. We've got a Banneret into a Squad and a Flitter. This is probably fine. It's a pretty fair hand. It's kind of a little bit slow, but the push definitely makes this keepable, I think. Now we have to decide, are we going to play around days? They went for 6. So if they go turn 1 Delver, I probably will just push it. Wow, turn 1 Mountain, aggressive. Hopefully that means they have a really bad hand. If they have removal for a Banneret, that's fine. I think I'm going to play a Swamp this turn. Because... Actually no, I should play the Cavern. I should play the Cavern because that means next turn, if they do remove this, we can go Swamp, Cavern, Tomb to get the Flitter into play. So we should do this. And they might have a Force of Will, you never know. And they're not going to Wasteland us next turn, I wouldn't have thought. So this will probably eat a Bolt. Which is fine. If it doesn't eat a Bolt, it means their hand's absolutely awful. But yeah, that's kind of what we predicted. Okay, that's not the worst. Let's just play a Swamp out and go. Sorry if that phone going off is extremely loud. Okay, this is really good for us. So now we can just push this. Hopefully they don't have a Force of Will. Okay, that's fantastic. So now we're just going to slam this Marsh Flitter. Yeah, okay. So, wow, they just don't have blue mana. So I feel like if this resolves, I guess they can't daze us, can they? So yeah, okay. Don't feel like we're in the worst spot here. So the Tomb's not the best if they have an aggressive draw. But if we just keep drawing lands, then we're in a good spot. That was not the worst draw, in all honesty. Let's start getting some damage in. If we draw another land, then we can start prowling in things as well, which is good. Let's get this Jitte in play. Okay, they were holding the Force. It's pretty well disciplined there, not gonna lie. I'm not very good though, so I probably would have forced earlier than that. Yeah, no worries. You can kill the Marsh Flitter. Okay, land would be great here. That's not that bad either. So it doesn't do anything this turn, but if we draw a land next turn, we can start getting things in with counters on. And we have got a clock on board, so not feeling like we're in the worst spot versus single mountain out of the Delver deck. So if they just don't draw blue mana for ages, we might be okay. Land would be really good. That's whatever, that's fine. We'll just run it back. At some point they're going to run out of removal spells. And they're just low on cards anyway, so it'd be really good if we could try and increase the clock a little bit here. That's really good for us. That's really good for us. Okay, let's see what we can do. Are we doing it? Is this doing it? I feel like this might be doing it. I feel like this might be doing it. You're dead next turn, friendo. Right, so what do we care about? They've got one mountain in play. We're probably just taking removal spells again, in all honesty. Like, what can they really reasonably put into play in like 2 turns? Not much. So probably like Fork Bolt. Maybe the Force of Will. The Snag's probably pretty annoying, actually. So probably like Fork Bolt, Vapor Snag, Force of Will. Probably don't even care about the Force of Will. Probably just take another Bolt, honestly. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm just going to do this. Right. Is this going to be... Are we going to win 2 matches? Is this a thing that's going to happen? Maybe I'm being too hasty. Now they're just going to draw like a blue land, but... Ho ho, buddy! Ho ho, buddy! Victory! We've just won 2 matches with Bog Boyz, ladies and gentlemen. 2 matches. Well, this is definitely going better than expected, so... Are we going to... Are we going to cash the league with Bog Boyz? Let's see what we can do here. Sorry for the phone going off. Oh, join match, hang on. Okay, so we're on the play. So this is a weird hand. We're probably just going to keep this because we've got a Wasteland to cover like Dark Depths. We've got a Faerie Macabre to cover Reanimator, and we've got an Aether Vial and a Cavern of Souls. We also have a Mutavault. So I think this is a keepable hand. It is kind of weird, but we've got bits that cover pretty much everything. And since this is game 1 and we don't know what we're doing, don't really want to aggressively mull this away. I mean, I guess we could also just mull to the nuts with the London Mulligan, but I think we're going to not mull to the nuts and just keep this. I think that's an okay call here. Okay, so we'll lead on... What's the best thing to lead on? Probably just the... I don't really want to lead on the caverns. I don't want to let them know what we're doing. I think I'm just going to go Mutavault, Aether Vial. I think that's fine. Like, it's unlikely that we're going to cast this for black anyway, since we've got the Aether Vials in play, so I don't think it matters that much. And I don't want to get this Wastelanded before we have a chance to put something into play that we don't want to get countered. I guess we have the Vials. I don't know. This seems okay. We can just attack with this if we need to. So, Mox Opal. So I guess this is like some sort of artifact deck. Chalice on 0. Are we getting stormed off here on turn 1? Is this Cheerios? No, still Overseer. We're just trying to make this do something. That's okay, fair enough, I guess. It's a shame we don't have a way to get rid of this. But this smells like I only have 1 land drop. Which means I'm pretty much just gonna Wasteland this now. That's a pretty good draw. So I think this makes sense. We'll just Wasteland the Wasteland, try and keep them off mana as much as possible. Cast the Aether Vial and bide our time. Like, this isn't particularly threatening if they can't put anything into play with it, so. And now if they want to spend 2 mana, they have to sacrifice their other mana source. It does feel like they're landlight. I could just be wrong there. They might just have another one, but whatever. Yeah. Revoker. That definitely sucks nuts.
Dumpster!
That was a pretty bad one for us there. I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty bad one. Removal would be good now. The fact they have a Wasteland is pretty annoying. We don't have very many things in the sideboard that are good against artifacts either. We've got like 2 Spyglass and a bunch of stuff. So I guess I'm just going to play the Swamp, and then I can... Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just play the Swamp. There's not really much else to do at the moment. I don't want to Wasteland them because I need to cast things myself. They might not have anything left to cast anyway, depending on what's in their hand, since they've only got 2 cards left. And this way I can threaten to block this, potentially. Which isn't going to happen because they're going to pump it first, but you never know. You never know. Oh, if this hadn't happened, I would have felt a lot better, but the Revoker... Okay, that's also not very good. So we need to start drawing things that do stuff very quickly, namely stuff that block. Namely things that block, I think. Yeah, we're not blocking. I guess you want to offer the trick, but it's not really worth. Okay, so... Playing the Faerie Macabre also doesn't achieve a lot this turn because we can't trade for anything with it, so I think we're just going to play the Auntie Snitch at the moment. Unless we draw something better. Okay, that's pretty bad. So I think we're just going to go Cavern of Souls, play this. It does mean if they Wasteland the Cavern, which they probably won't. They'll probably Wasteland this. So I think this is okay. So let's play the Snitch. And then we can start attacking next turn. But just chomping with the Rogue doesn't get us anywhere. We kind of want to... We need to draw like a Marsh Flitter or... I don't know. At this point we're quite on the back foot. So Marsh Flitter or Removal is basically what we want to draw. And just chomping with the Faerie Macabre for a turn isn't really great. I suppose it's possible they might just attack with the Steel Overseer and the Revoker next turn just to try and get the game over with. So we might take 9. But we pretty much need to draw something like Marsh Flitter or Bust anyway. So I think this is fine. This Revoker's basically just going to have it in for us, unfortunately. Geez, is something else? That's not good. So now I think we're just actually dead, right? Because even Marsh Flitter doesn't actually do anything at this point. So when I said no surrender, what I actually meant was when we're objectively just straight up dead, I think we'll just pack it in. Does this do anything? Does this do anything? Not really. It's just too late. Like we can kill the Vault Scourge. Yeah, we just haven't got a lot going on now. We've just drawn this a little bit too late, unfortunately. The Phyrexian Revoker killing the Vials absolutely got us that game. So I don't really want to show him anything else. Let's just move on to the next one. So that was a shame, but we have won we've won 2 matches. Yeah, geez, we actually won 2 matches. So let's see if we can take down this game.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
So artifact stuff, we'll bring in Spyglass. Minister of Pain probably isn't going to be good enough because if they've got like, I don't know, they'll have ways to like sacrifice things to not to Revokers, to Ravagers, and they'll have ways to pump stuff. So this probably isn't good enough. Warren Weirding, Dismember definitely is good enough. Warren Weirding probably isn't good enough, especially against Hangerback Walker. So I think 3 in is fine. Jitte's very good, Push is very good. Everything else seems pretty good. This unfortunately gets blocked by artifacts, so it's suddenly very, very bad. So I'm kind of just inclined to cut these. Like, these seem abysmal in this matchup. Whereas at least these are flying, which is good. So maybe I think the first Minister of Pain is going to be better than the first Prickly Boggart in the deck that doesn't care about against the deck that doesn't care about fear. That's probably fine. I think Minister of Pain number 1 is better than Weirding number 1. I think that's probably true. Like, there is a chance this kills a bunch. Like, this can clean up a bunch of Thopters or something potentially. This doesn't necessarily do a whole lot, and the us making 2 guys thing's kind of niche. So I think this is okay. We definitely have cards at play. So like, this is really good. This is really good. We do have stuff that works, but we need to try and be aggressive because we've got the snitches and whatnot. So we shall try and give this a go. I think we have to mulligan this because, like, it's 5 lands. We just, I don't know. This doesn't do anything, really. So I think we're gonna throw this one back. This is pretty good. So probably get rid of one of the fairies. You can go Vial on 1. Push something. I think this is pretty good. Get rid of this. Having the Wasteland's quite nice, actually. If they can't have such a nutty draw. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Okay, that's good. So we can just push that. Nice and easy. Play the Mutavault out. Oona's Blackguard would be a good draw. That's fine. So we'll do this. Push this. And pass the turn. Okay, that seems fantastic. Yeah, we'll use the ability. That's a shame. We can't do that this turn, but we'll play the Wasteland for now, I guess. Get in for 2. And then next turn we can attack with the Mutavault and prowl it in because we've got the Ancient Tomb. So assuming they don't play anything to block the Mutavault this turn, we could be in a good spot. Yep, that's fine. You have a Vault Scourge. I wonder what they have in their hand then. How would you keep? It seems weird to keep Overseer, Petal, not much else. I'm pretty sure they kept 7 as well. That doesn't actually help. So let's just do this. Get in for 2. So the fact that this is every creature type means it triggers the prowl for the Earwig Squad, which is great. Which isn't necessarily the best against this deck, but this is going to be a nice big clock, so... And we can eat the Vault Scourge with the Faerie Macabre. When it attacks in, we can just vial that in to block it. Okay then, so... I guess we'll just take Khan's Sign of Urza. Maybe Walking Ballista. Bridge is kind of annoying, I suppose, but they're not casting that anytime soon. What's like the most annoying stuff? I guess we don't want to take Khan, that's silly. Sword of Fire and Ice. We probably just want to take like Ballista. No, I guess that doesn't even matter at the moment. I don't know. Probably Ravager, in all honesty, is the most annoying thing. Everything else seems slow. I think I'm just going to take Ravagers. Overseer is possible, but that's also quite slow at this point. I think I'll just take these for the time being. Because we can't... Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine. Because Ravager means that they could like start building things and putting them together. Like, if they don't draw anything else at the moment, they're behind enough that I think that's fine. Okay, so this is pretty good. Nice.
Oh yeah.
So I think we just run it back, but we want another game, so we're trying our best here. If we win this next game, we get to cash the league with Bog Boyz. Let's give it a go. I think this hand is too slow. The Minister of Pain could be good, but if they got like Ravager and stuff, I don't know. If we had a Vial, this hand would be good. Auntie Snitch is aggressive and we're on the draw, so it's not the best. This doesn't do that much. This is definitely the downside with this deck, is we just draw a bunch of like 3 and 4 drops and lands, and then we can't do that much. What are they doing? They are beginning the game with 7 cards. Is Minister of Pain good enough to get us back into the game? Definitely there are going to be spots where it is. Is it more likely that there's a spot where this gets us back into the game than there being a spot where we can just mull to a good 6? I think we just want to mull to a good 6. This just doesn't seem fast enough. So I think we'll... that said, we do have 8 2-drops though, to be fair. 8 2-drops, 2 Fatal Push, a bunch of Aether Vials. If we just have something to do on the first 2 turns, then that seems much better. So I think we'll mulligan this. I don't think this is good enough to keep this hand off of. Maybe that's greedy. We do have a Mutavault. We do have a Mutavault. So this works well with the Snitches. Is this worth keeping? I think I'm going to mulligan it. No, I don't know. Oh, this is so hard. This deck's not very good. So it's hard to... You've got to really... The fine margins are pretty tough. Let's... It's just like if they have... So if they have like Overseer, or if they have Hangerback Walker, or if they have... Well, I guess Hangerback Walker this is good against, potentially. So they have like Overseer or Ravager. I guess Overseer is the one that really punishes this. We just don't have anything else going on. But we do have creatures and lands. Their deck isn't necessarily always that fast, but they kept 7. And these like don't do anything if we're from behind. I think the fact that these don't do anything since we're behind, we're going to mull this. This is way better, so that was good. So at this point we'll probably just get rid of probably the Auntie Snitch, I think, because it's not very good on the draw. So I think we'll keep this. We've got a Jitte, and we'll get rid of this. These are harder to cast, but we do have a Vial, so feel a lot better about this hand for sure. Yeah, so we wouldn't have been able to beat this with the Faerie Macabre. Whereas with the Jitte, possibly. But let's see how this goes. That was a very good draw, so now we can hardcast things, which is great. Let's just cast the Vial. Pass. Oh, come on. see if we can take down another match and cash the league. That would be so good. Two double Overseer. Whew. This might be tough. This definitely might be tough. Jitte is going to not be able to keep up with this very easily. Or at all, in fact. So we really need hard removal at this point. So ideally would like to draw, geez, Blinkmoth as well. That's pretty rough. So we need to draw like Sorcerous Spyglass on Overseer would be very good here. That would be probably one of the best possible draws, if not the best possible draw. Running Fatal Push would be good. Ballista. Yeah, this is probably unbeatable, actually, on our part. I don't know how we beat this hand. Double Overseer into Ballista plus Blinkmoth for reach. Not reach, but like a quick infect kill. Don't know. Not looking good. Not looking good. And we can like never equip this. I think we're just dead. We need to draw Spyglass for this, like right now, or removal for it, or we are pretty much just stone cold dead. Because this is going to kill us in like 2 turns anyway, right? 2 or 3 turns anyway. This is going to be a 4/4. If they get a Ravager in play, we're probably just actually dead. That doesn't matter that much, really, in the scheme of things, because this isn't doing anything anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually just named Vial, in all honesty. Yeah, it just makes sense. Like, this doesn't do anything against double Overseer. So I think we're possibly at the point where we can't win anymore. We do really this deck really struggles with like super aggressive starts, and this was like the absolute nuts. This probably isn't even their fastest draw either, to be fair. So I guess we'll play it out, but there's like no way through this. Like this, we can only play one thing a turn. This kills everything. This is kind of a sad end to this match. But we do have another match to try and cash the league though, so we could get lucky. In the face of this turn 3 hardcast Faerie Macabre, doesn't feel great, I'm not gonna lie. Doesn't feel the best. Whew. Yep, it's fine. Like, they don't even need to kill anything with this either. Yeah, that resolves. Like, there's literally nothing we can draw in our deck. Mono black decks are not very good against artifact strategies. I don't even know why they bother, honestly. I don't think there's any point doing this. Just attack. I have to chump block anyway. I don't think it matters. Really. Just leave it on there. Like, what am I going to do? Yeah, because I mean we only won the last one because I don't know, but I think we got pretty lucky in the last one. What actually happened? They didn't draw any other lands. That was it, wasn't it? Okay, all right. We'll pack it in there. We cast one spell. No, I guess we didn't cast one spell, but still, it felt like it. That was pretty good. So, so we're currently 2-2. Which is amazing. We've actually So apart from our stumble against miracles, where we did genuinely stumble, we didn't draw. Like the first game was a bit of a wash. The second game, we just never drew more than 2 lands, and I really think we would have won that game if we'd drawn a 3rd and 4th land in a reasonable time frame. So we have a chance to actually cash a league with Bog Boyz, which is not something that necessarily anyone would expect. So let's give this a go. Hopefully our opponent gets really unlucky, or they're playing something like Reanimator and we have like 3 Faerie Macabres in our opening hand, or they're playing combo and we cheese them out game 1 and then game 2 we just draw like Trinisphere or whatever. So we need to get super lucky and our opponent needs to get super unlucky, and we might cash this league.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see
We're
if
on
it
the
pays off
draw.
for.
This hand does stuff, which is good. So we'll keep this. Like we can go Oona's Blackguard. This is okay, we'll keep this. Like it sucks against Wasteland, but we're not doing much against that anyway at the moment. Like we can't mold something like this off the back of it being bad against Wasteland. Chalice on 0 is... Oh, is it going to be another... Don't be another Steel Stompy, please. Alright. Just Eldrazi Temple, Chalice on 0, fine. Fine. So Wasteland would be really good. Okay, that's alright. So I guess we'll just play Cavern on Rogue and pass. We're not playing the Urborg. If we play the Urborg, then they could go Eye of Ugin and then smash us, which would be pretty bad. So we're not doing that. Now, yeah, so that's a good job we didn't play the Urborg. Now we really just want to draw. So there's going to be Thought Knot probably. Yeah, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? We really want to draw a land to get squads into play at this point, because we can trade the squad for the Thought Knot. We can get rid of like all his dust and stuff with the squad. So running lands would be really good. Frogtosser would be fine, honestly, as well. This, we want to get this into play to block stuff. So we did beat Eldrazi earlier. It does feel like you can win this match, but we need Wastelands. We really, really need Wastelands to win this match. If you can Wasteland, probably, actually I don't know, probably this. Probably Wasteland this. I think that's a better way to do it. Because even if we play an Urborg, they can't cast things off of this without colourless mana anyway. Yeah, that makes sense. It really sucks that we have to play this Urborg. This is a super tilt, but unfortunately we don't have a lot of choice. Yeah, giving them black for their eye really sucks. So we might get Endbringer this turn. Or just like huge Ballista. Okay, they're on Cloud Post version as well. There is a lot of that around at the moment. Now we really need to draw land. Here comes a Smasher, I guess. Yeah. I just think we're going to struggle to erase this. If we don't draw land this turn, I don't think we have much of a chance at all. Okay, feel like we might have a chance then at this point. If we draw another land, for the Flitter, then we could also be in a good spot. We really have to hope they've got nothing else though. I guess we'll find out. And this will be a 6/4 as well, which is pretty good. Not that really makes a lot of difference, but it does mean we'll take one less off of the Smasher. Okay, so what just completely ranches us? We probably just have to take all his dust, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we just take all his dust. It looks like they might have an all his dust in hand, honestly. They've probably got 3 of these, I think, if I remember rightly. And then they don't have Ballista in the main deck. What else is annoying? I don't know actually. Probably just like another Smasher because the haste is pretty bad for us. I think it's probably fine. That seems okay. I definitely am ready to get Aura's Dusted this turn though. It smells like they have another Aura's Dust since there was only 2 in their deck. So if they have a land this turn, they can Aura's Dust us, and then we're just dead. Because we can't play enough stuff. This is fine. Now, do I trade for the Thought-Knot Seer? I don't think so. It does get us a card though, and the one, I guess, like if I block this, I'm still taking 5 either way round, right? I still take 5 either way round, so I should probably block the Thought-Knot Seer actually. Because this gives me a chance to draw another squad, so I think I should block this because I still take 5. I think this is actually the best thing to do here. That's fine. That's not really what we wanted. So hopefully they just don't have anything here, which they probably will. Another Thought-Knot. So that's pretty much the worst thing they could have had. I guess it's not really. Basically, if they had any big creature, it's pretty bad for us. They just take the Earwig Squad though, I think. It's pretty easy there. We need to draw land this turn. So I suppose definitely blocking the Thought-Knot was the right thing anyway. But we need to draw either another Earwig Squad. If they have another card, then we're just dead. Okay, not card, sorry, creature, then we're just dead. If we draw a land... Problem is this Smasher. The fact that they got rid of this with a Thought-Knot means that not blocking the Smasher has super punished us. So we kind of need to draw another squad. That means we're dead, I think. I think that means we're just dead. Which is kind of rough. That was a real shame. I think blocking the Thought-Knot was still the right thing to do though. Because they had to exactly have another Thought-Knot, which we could have actually checked in their hand, possibly. I didn't really think about counting the number of Thought-Knot Seers in the deck. That's what I should have done. That's what you should do. When you play squad, you can see their deck, and then the things that you know there's 4 of, you can count them and see what they've got in their hand. Which is what I should have done. So that was kind of just a misplay on my part, really. Which is annoying. So we are just dead. I guess we're going to have to block this. There's no point playing a Snitch, I don't think. So if we block this Thought-Knot Seer, we go to 1. We can equip the Mutavault with the Jitte and gain 5. So I gain 4 and go to 5. That's not good enough. But the Snitch doesn't block, so I guess we'll just play the Jitte and pass. Really, really needed a land there. If this had been a Smasher, I think we would have been in a much better spot. Yeah, the fact that it was a Thought-Knot probably was one of the worst draws, just because it took the other Earwig Squad. But I should have checked. I should have checked their library more carefully. I mean, we're still not in the best spot either way around, so it is what it is. And now I don't think we have any outs. Because we can't even block the Smasher with this. But this is how we beat the Eldrazi deck of the last match. So we lost the first game, managed to win the Sideboard games. That's a bit of a tilt. So never mind. no matter. Let's give it a go in the final. So what's this? No, not the final game. We got one more after this. Hopefully, if we can make it through. So we want Sorcerous Spyglass. This is pretty essential. Dismember. That's pretty much. Oh no, Warren Weirding as well. We also want Damping Sphere, I guess. That's pretty good. I don't think we brought anything else in. So Jitte is not amazing. Fatal Push is not amazing. And then we want to cut probably just Faerie Macabres. Everything else seems fine. I think that's what we did last time. So these are good on the play. Even on the draw, they're still aggressive. Like if we're sitting back blocking with these for ages, we're not going to win that sort of game anyway. So I think we definitely want these. And everything else is fine. So let's give it a go. If we can draw some Wastelands, that'd be good. Right. Fingers crossed, let's see if we can do this. This isn't an amazing hand, but it does have a Dismember, and it does have an Oona's Blackguard. So I think we'll keep it, but it's not fantastic. These do not work with the Blackguard, unfortunately, so that's not the best, but I think this is worth keeping. Just mainly off of the strength of this, and if we draw any other rogues, this then becomes very good. So we will kick off with a Swamp. Hopefully they don't lead on a Soul Land. If they do lead on a Soul Land, I think I'm going to pass so I can dismember the Thought Knot Seer in response. Because I don't really want to get that in play and then have no way to kill it. Yeah, so I suppose I could do that off of an Ancient Tomb, but that's not really what I want to be doing. That would cost 7 health, that costs 7 damage. I think we're just going to put a Cavern of Souls into play, maybe a Mutavault actually. No, because if I cast this next turn I'm not attacking with it. Let's just put this into play. Right, Mutavault into play, and I think we're going to pass, because if they Thought Knot Seer us, we have to be able to kill it. And if they just play a Matter Reshaper, then whatever. Grim Monolith, right, that's fine. So we could definitely... Problem is, even Damping Sphere doesn't really work against this, which is kind of annoying. Second Dismembers are pretty good. So now, I guess we'll just play the Blackguard. I really don't want to take damage off the tomb in this matchup is the problem. So I think I'm just going to go for the Blackguard. Because if I have to dismember something, I'm going to have to pay life for it anyway. Although I might possibly just untap and kill it, depending upon what it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're getting to the point where if they've just got big stuff, we're almost dead anyway. Which kind of sucks. So Smasher's annoying. Yeah, we're not in a good spot here. This doesn't kill Endbringer either, I don't... Not Endbringer. What am I thinking of? This doesn't kill... oh, what's it called? Oblivion Sower. Double Smasher? Jeez. Oh, we're almost just dead here, right? So I can dismember. I guess, so that means I take 9 this turn, and then next turn I have to pay another 2. So what we have to do though, at least I can discard an Ancient Tomb. Yeah, discard this. Definitely not in a good spot here though. This is not what we want to be doing. This draw... Oh, that was a good draw though. We'll definitely be doing that. So now we can do this. Warren Weirding them, which we'll definitely be doing. I don't want to take damage off this at all. We can play another Mutavault. This is the one that was already in play. That was the one that came in this turn. Make this a 2/2 and get in for 3. So hopefully they just have like nothing else going on. Seems highly unlikely. Hopefully it was just like keep 2 quick smashes and that's it. That's really annoying. We can double block it though. Hey, how's it going, Francis? Yeah, this is the last. This is probably the last game. Honestly, yeah. MTGO bot still doesn't work, I'm afraid. Oh, good. So now you're just going to kill the Mutavaults. Excellent. We have won 2 matches though. We've actually won 2 matches, just so you're aware of that. That doesn't quite do it. May as well just play this out. Yeah, the Marsh Flitter off the top would be so good. Bog Treat off the top would be so good. As long as they just like, if they draw like nothing and we get Bog Treat off the top, that'd be so good. Especially with double Blackguard. Bog Treat. Look at the deck list, Francis. You can find Bog Treat. Oh, this seems bad. Don't double I. Uh-oh. 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 It's Marsh Flitter. Obviously. Damn it, that's not the one we wanted. That's not the droid we were looking for, but it is still reasonably big. We do get to make them discard 2 cards though, so that's not bad. You don't know what it does? How do you not know what Marsh Flitter does? What are you talking about? How do you not know what that does? I don't understand how you don't know what that card does. But they are going to discard 2 cards here though, so that's really good. Why is it a 3/3? Because of these. When it enters the battlefield it gets a +1/+1 counter if it's a rogue. And then if a rogue with a... Oh, is it rogue or a creature? And then yeah, a rogue... No, a creature that I control with a counter on it deals combat damage, they have to discard a card. So they're going to discard 2 cards. You're really out of touch. This is like the current metagame. Sweet! So they have to discard 2 cards. Both of which will probably be bad. Okay, they've probably got a good card left in hand if they untapped this, I guess. Maybe they don't. Who knows? Please. 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 Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a lot of mana, opponent. Yay! Fun!
Dumpster!
Damn it. Marsh Flitter off the top would still be good because it would buy us some turns and we could block this and kill it, but that's such a tilt. This trades though. This trades. This is the Naked Squad. It doesn't unfortunately let me take anything out of the deck, but it does at least block the crap out of a Thought-Knot-Seer. So we're still in this. Have I got any trades? We could still squeak our way out of this. If they don't draw anything, can they activate this yet? They probably can. 1, 2. Does this activate eye ability? No, it doesn't. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But it costs them 2 life. It's probably good enough. It's probably good enough. You're looking for 3 underground sea. Please help. I don't understand. I don't think I have any of those cards. I couldn't even tell you what Mercurial Chemistry is. I have to admit. I'm also out of touch with the meta. Alright, so they're just going to look for something, I guess. You're doing it now? They're doing this now? I suppose so. No? What are they doing? Sure. Okay. Please. Really? That's a real shame. Would be great if they went Sing in the Ice Island. That would be a strange sequence of plays for them to make with no cards in hand off of one draw step, but I agree it would be great if they managed that. Well, this unfortunately looks like it's the end. Endless one. Please don't unfollow. Yeah, so we're at 3. They have 2 attackers. We have 1 blocker. So no, this is it. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do. We've finished. We're at the end of the league. I'm going to lose this game. We're going to go 2-3, which is impressive. To be fair, 2-3 is pretty good. This has been more annoying than I thought it would be. Bread to bake. Funnily enough, I actually do, but I also am not going to play another Bog Boyz League today. That's not happening. I don't have any beer to brew. Not today. That's all packed up since parents are moving house. Don't see the line? Damn, they saw the line. They saw the line. No, don't do it. Maybe we can make them sweat. Maybe they'll concede. Come on. So on Eric's stream, everybody concedes when they're dead. When I'm dead. When he's dead. Whatever. They are. No, they're not. They are not doing that. All right. Well, this was good fun. We did way better than I thought we'd do, actually, which is good. So feeling in good shapes for the challenge on Sunday. So Legacy Challenge Sunday. Make sure you're around. We'll be streaming Bog Boyz. I think this list through the challenge. So hopefully we can get some good fortune then. So we did win some games. We actually won 2 matches, which is pretty good. Let's just go back to the list quickly. Yeah, I know it's the GP this week. This is the only Sunday I can do it, so... I know, I'm at 14, I think like up to 17 people watched the stream at one point today, so very grateful for that. So it was more successful than I thought it would be, considering it's up against the Mythic Championship, but I suppose you can only watch Phoenix versus Tron for so long. But yeah, this is what we played. I talked about it at the beginning. This will be on YouTube, so you can look at it there. Let's just go... I suppose I should just go to the... there we go. That's the one we want. I haven't used one of these in a little while. Yeah, 17 people that weren't you, which was weird. Unless you just have like 17 alternate accounts. Abzan versus Vanna for combat. That's pretty sweet. If they've got the pod woman on the Mythic Championship, that's kind of sweet. So fair play. Anyway, I'm probably going to call it... Well, I am going to call it there. So thanks for hanging around. I'll stream again on Sunday for the challenge, so make sure you're around for that. and thanks for catching this one. Yeah, thanks for answers. Thanks for hanging around for the end of the last game. But enjoy the GP side events later. It's a real shame I can't make it for those. All right, cheers everyone.